Okay, welcome back, everybody. Sorry for that time between. It is flu and cold season for sure. Um, but today we're going to kind of do something a little different because of the fact that there's just so much going on and we have to refocus. So we're going to be doing Psalm 68, and this is a Psalms that was done at Passover, and when the priests and stuff would go to Mount Zion or to the ark, and this procession would occur. Now you can look into the millennium. This is kind of the same thing that's going to happen. And what I had said before about the millennium, people are going to be doing different things, but all within the kingdom. Just as we are now, we have Satan's side and we have God's side. But, you know, it's obvious the left and the right now. I mean, you don't have to guess. It's that spiritual invoking, that looking to God rather than to man. And I think so many people are just disgusted with this government and with the things that are going on. It really is time to just go back, study the basics, and understand that no matter what happens, we're going to be okay. This wrath, this judgment isn't on us. And it's just like when I saw all these things going on and I was looking around, I was scared and I was shaking. And Christ looked down and he bent my chin up, and I looked him in the eye and he said, "This isn't for you." And at that time, that's when he said, "I'm dividing you now. I'm going to divide mine to theirs, and I'm going to take you out, not into a rapture type thing, but to separate you. I'll protect you, I'll lead, I'll guide you, just as he did when he took them out of Egypt. He had a pillar in front and a light or something in the back, and it was complete protection. So this is why Egypt is always referenced, is because that showed God's mighty power. That, I mean, he definitely flexed it. If he can he can divide the sea and make it so it's dry land, then, and everybody gets over everybody, and then he waits for the enemy to get right in the middle of it and destroys them. And this flood that's coming, um, as in the days of Noah, it's going to be a lot of deception and a lot of people are going to get swept away with it. But we're going to stand tall. We're going to stand for the truth. And, it doesn't matter what man says. It truly does not matter. So when you see all these things happening now, it just doesn't matter because we know the plan. We know what's coming. And there's just so much hysterics and this oppression getting deeper and stronger. This is what I was talking about, to lift up and get your head above that, because it's going to get bad. You're going to see what looks like war, especially in the spring, that coming. I mean, there's going to be some fighting, but that isn't the Civil War either. But there's a lot of things coming, so we just need to stay focused and just know what the plan is. I'm going to say hi to everybody. See Deb. Hi, Deb. Thank you. And welcome back, everybody, to Kim and Roxanne. Yeah, I'm feeling a lot better. I just got that bug. So, yeah, it's that spring, it's that winter flu bug season. And you know, you can't really escape it all the time because going to the grocery store and stuff. See, masks don't work. You see what I mean? I still caught something. Hi, Mind. Daniel. So, if you didn't hear in the beginning, we're going to go over Psalm 68, and it's more to let you know God and His power and His names, and to get to know that part of Him because He really does care, and He wants to see you through this. And I hope everybody else is okay today. Didn't get a bug or anything like that. Let's see, mine said, I thought you went to bug out. At a cave? Nah, it is not that time. I don't think I'll go to a cave. So, yeah, the seals and vials, they'll all come together. But to end the week in something positive and just uh, dwelling on the word, you know, meditating, seeing the different facets that the Bible does have, you know, and how you can read just one verse and it goes into another road. I mean, it's incredible how that works. Hey, COVID. Uh, Kim says, no big bug here. I don't wear masks. Yeah, see, I wore masks and I still got sick. And I rarely go out. I mean, I go out when I have to go grocery shopping and stuff. And so it's like, da da da. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. It's till verse 35, but there's a lot of stuff in it. I don't know really how long it's going to take to get through it, but let's go ahead and start. It's on chapter 68 and verse 1. A psalm or song of David. This is prayers and songs. And remember when I told you to get a song, a psalm, get something that reminds you as you're going through this, you're going to really want to remind yourself of what waits for us. Okay, verse 1. Let God arise, let his enemies be scattered. Okay, when you see God, that is referring to the Elohim, and he's the one that is protecting. Yahaveh is the covenant maker. Let them also that hate him flee before him. As smoke is driven about our way, so drive them away. As wax melteth before the fire, so let the wicked, the lawless, the reshe, fallen angels, perish at the presence of God. But let the righteous be glad. Let them rejoice before God. Yea, let them exceedingly rejoice. Sing unto God. Sing praises to him. Extol him that rideth upon the heavens by his name, Yah, and rejoice before him. So you have Yah, you have Elohim, you have El. There's just so many different names that make up just who he is and what he does. A father of the fatherless and a judge of the widows. So he takes care of those who have nobody. And he really does. Is God in his holy habitation? God setteth the solitary in families. Now, Okay, is God Elohim in his holy habitation? Um, in this, let's see. This, two. Sorry, I had some notes here. The divine. Holy habitation, which David had prepared for the ark on Zion. And before then, when they had the ark, it was very well protected. And when they first, with Moses, started this, um, the laws put into place and everything like that. This is the song in which was sung while the priest and the people were coming up to worship. So this actually is saying at Passover during the spring festivals. Okay, God setteth the solitary in families. He brings absent ones home. So when we die, we all are back together again. If, I mean, there could be someone on the other side. But for the most, I mean, with all this false teaching and things like that, it's a no wonder that anybody makes it. He bringeth out those which are bound with chains. Even, in this life, God is going to protect you. And he's going to watch over you. So whatever you see, just know that God's going to be there. And whatever is bad, he's going to bring to his glory. But the rebellious ones dwell in a dry land, or they have always dwelt in that dry land. You go onto the other side of the Gulf and it's barren, it's dark, it's gloomy. There's parts that are painful. O God, when thou wentest forth before thy people, this is referring to Egypt, when thou didst march through the wilderness. Okay, this is connecting the first going up of the ark in the wilderness with its accompaniments. So when they were in the wilderness before, David and everything like that, it was there to set up, the laws and to gain that worship. All right, the earth shook, the heavens also dropped, or moisture at the presence of God, of Elohim. When he first created, I mean, he created, then he had to recreate in this earth age, and he's going to have to rejuvenate it in the next earth age. Even Sinai itself was moved at the presence of God, the God Yahaveh of Israel. And, Moses himself, there were the people at first that were able to come up. But at last, God just said, no, I just want one representative, and it's Moses and Aaron. And that in itself caused a lot of strife with Korah, who said, no, it's not just Aaron being the priesthood. We can. So he had divided all these people together, and then they had the 12 staffs together, and he goes, okay, let's put all 12 in there in the ark, and then the next day we'll see what happens to him. Well, that's where Aaron's rod had budded, and so it was like proven at that point it's Aaron's bloodline, the Levitical, that one. So, but people will tell you, okay, Thou, O God, didn't send a plentiful rain whereby thou didst confirm thine inheritance when it was weary. Let's see. Thy congregation have dwelt therein. Thou, O God, hast prepared of thy goodness for the poor, for the humbled and the oppressed. Remember, we're going through this oppression. But he said, don't touch the oil or the wine. So do, at least prepare for it. But he's going to make sure you're okay. Okay, so do what you can, but just just be confident. That's the word, confident. The Lord The Lord Yahaveh gave the word. Great was the company of these are the women that published it. So now we're getting into the singing part, and this is their part. They go through 12 and 13, so they sing this. Kings of armies did flee apace, and she that tarried at home divided the spoil. Though ye have lain among the pots, ye shall be as the wings of a dove covered with silver, and her feathers with yellow gold. Now, this pots thing, it's dual. The two for between the brick and the kilns in Egypt when they were drying them and things. This is not dirty vessels according to the rabbinical commentators, but dirty places. So in God's, he's going to keep things clean and make sure that even in with all of this oppression, with all the Antichrist coming, that you're not going to get defiled. You'll be okay. Though, let's see, when the Almighty scattered kings, it is in his inheritance. So they basically, they took the spoils from them. It was white as snow in Salem. Let's see. And this it's called an ellipsis, like a figure of speech. Thus was as when he scattered snow in Salem, scattered by dispersing as snow melted away. Let's see. The hill of God, and that should say the mountain of God, that Zion, is as the mountain of Bashan, and that is where you have all the big fruit and everything is just lush and full. And high mountain on the mountain of Bashan. Why leap ye high hills, and why envy these other nations? Why will ye envy, O you high hills, the hill Yahaveh desired for his abode? So you see right now that you have the good fig and the bad fig right on the mount. And we can see how much closer that we're getting, but he's taking it over. This is the hill which God desireth to dwell in, and he will, even in eternity, in the third earth age. Yea, the Lord Yahaveh will dwell in it forever. And that is after the great white throne judgment, when everything is cleansed and done, the earth is renewed back to where it was in the first earth age, and he'll be living with us. So during the millennium, you're still going to have that temple and that kind of bridge between us and him. The chariots of God are 20,000, even thousands of angels. And it should be like twice 10,000 of angels. That's just kind of the way that, just things that they used to say. Um, Yahaveh is among them as in Sinai in the holy place. It's all one thing. Thou hast ascended on high. Thou hast led in procession captivity captive. This is for the captives. And let's see, ascended. Okay, this is referring to the ark, but a type of Christ's ascension, as it is clear from Ephesians 4:8. So, all through time, the Bible is relevant. And you'll see types, just like you see types of the Antichrist. You also see types of Christ, such as in the book of Joshua, Yeshua. Joshua was a type of Savior. And right now, they're trying to say that Biden is a Savior and all these evil, wicked people around him. I mean, that to me is like glaringly in your face, like they're preparing you for the Antichrist. A Savior is going to come and save you. Thou hast received gifts from men, or receiving and giving gifts for men, yea, for the rebellious. Also, that the Lord Yahaveh, God, might dwell among them. Let's see, so dwell as in a tabernacle, the ark being the symbol of his presence. And like I said, he is coming back. And he's going to be forever. We're going to be with him forever. Blessed be the Lord who daily loadeth us with benefits. Even the God El, who is our great salvation, Selah. So this is connecting the exhortations and to bless Yahaveh, to think about this. So when you're reading these Psalms, really take in mind when they say Salah, to pause and reflect, to look back. He that is God, El, is the God El of salvation. And unto God, Yahaveh Adonai, the Lord, belong issues from death. And this refers to the Exodus when they were preparing to leave and they were getting out. And he saved them. He coddled them. He babied them. But God shall wound the head of his enemies. What did Christ do? He came in here to defeat death. And death will be defeated at that great white throne judgment. But on his death, we have power over our enemies, those evil serpents. And the hairy scalp of such as one as goeth on still in his trespass. Someone who continues to trespass regardless of, no matter what they learn and things like that. But the hairy scalp of such as one goeth on still in his trespass. I mean, this will continue on until the end. The Lord said, I will bring again from Bashan. I will bring my people again from the depths of the sea, that thy foot may be dipped, bathed in the blood of thine enemies. And this is really all the purpose of what's going on now, to separate those on the left and to the right. And in the end, justice will prevail. Justice always prevail. Good always wins over any evil. And the tongue of thy dog uh, may look the same. So it's just a saying on that one. They have seen thy goings, or the progressions and processions, O God, even the goings of my God, my King, into the sanctuary. The singers went before the players on the instruments, so this is how it starts. The singers went before the players on the instruments. So I was reading this and I was thinking, I wonder if this is how, the kings and queens of the ethnos coming over to worship, if it'll be like this. Followed behind or between, among them were the females in verse 11 who are singing, the kings of armies did flee a space from those. Among them were the damsels playing with drums. So, just try to envision that. That must have been an awesome sight to see. Bless ye Elohim in the assemblies of even the Lord Yahaveh, ye that are from the fountain of Israel. These are the patriarchs. So you have, Jacob, Abraham, the end, of course, being Jacob because his name was changed to Israel. There is little Benjamin with their ruler, the princes of Judah and their council, the princes of Zebulun and the princes of Naphtali. Now, let's look at Benjamin, and then we can go over to Revelation 21, verse 19. But Benjamin is the least of the tribes and last on the jasper stone of Aaron's breastplate. So they had the 12, and so jasper is the first stone in the foundation of Revelation 21. So that's going to be the first, and then you go up, It's like the foundation of all of it, of this new city coming out, God with us. And then you also have the 4 tribes named here, 2 in the extreme south and 2 in the extreme north. So from corner to corner, not leaving anybody out, everybody in between that. And that's how they set it up. Like a reminder, with everything that they did, it had a purpose. Thy God hath commanded thy strength. Strengthen, O God, that which thou hast wrought us. So strengthen or defense. So he's our walls. We mainly have an unwalled cities and all things like that, because God is our defense. Strengthen, which was in here. Strengthen, O God, the strength which thou hast wrought for many from thy temple. So this will be connecting this with the first line of 29. So it's saying that it's the same thought. Because of thy temple at Jerusalem shall kings bring presents unto thee. And now if Christ would have been accepted by the nation, this would certainly be it. you know, up get having that or that 1,000 year reign um, in the flesh. But now that that didn't happen, we're going into the millennium, and these things are going to be coming into our country, into the city to worship God. Rebuke the company of the spearmen, um, the wild beast of the reeds. So, you're not going to have, you know, out of order type of stuff in attacks. The multitude of the bulls. See, the herd of mighty oxen. So with the calves